This episode of the Young Turks is brought to you by Boingo, the world's largest Wi-Fi network. Sign up at boingo.com/TYT.
New York Magazine did a really interesting story about pornography and the way that it can affect a male's brain. Now, we've done so many of these stories already, and I was very skeptical about this, right? But the author of this article claims that porn has basically hijacked a male's brain in the sense where a man will no longer want to sleep with an actual woman because he gets all of the arousal and all of the sexual gratification he needs from pornography. All right, now I just got to warn you guys that this article was very interesting, but it basically used anecdotal evidence. The anecdotal evidence was super entertaining nonetheless, and very interesting. So what he did...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cenk.
So, I share your skepticism, Anna, about the story, but I think the guy was coming from the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, because seriously, I think of those things mid-sentence. Anyway, because he's not judging porn. He's not, one of these religious people like, oh my God, it's going to ruin our morals. He says, as, Anna's about to tell you, he's like, no, I'm into porn. Like, I'm too into porn myself, etc. And I think some of the people that he talked to made a lot of sense. So go ahead, Anna, give us the details.
Okay, so as you mentioned, the author of this article is into porn himself, which I think makes this article a little more credible, right? And he talks about the troubles he had in his own relationships. So he said that he would watch porn, a lot of it, every day, masturbate, get his business done. And then when it came to having sex with an actual live woman, he would have a hard time getting it up because he wasn't as excited or aroused by the actual woman, right? So in the end, he did this whole experiment on himself where he stopped watching porn for 4 days in a row, and then he had sex and it was wonderful, right? But he interviews a lot of different men in his article, and some of them are amazing, okay? I want to read you one of the people that he interviewed. His name is... Perry. He only used people's first names. So this is what Perry said. I used to race home to have sex with my wife. Now I leave work half an hour early so I can get home before she does to masturbate to porn. Okay, and a lot of the people...
Yeah,
Go ahead, Cenk.
That's really sad in a lot of ways. Of course, everybody thinks that. But you know what? I think the guy writing the article is right. I think that's a lot of guys. I don't think that's a little like, oh, Perry's a freak, etc. I bet if a lot of wives came home half an hour early, they'd catch their guys going through the internet, etc. And it goes towards why this guy thinks people are doing that. But I'll let you explain that.
All right. And then, he also interviews this 27-year-old architecture student named Ron. And Ron has a girlfriend that he only sees on the weekends because they're both students. But during the week, he literally has like these dates with porn stars over the internet. So he says Tuesdays are for Sasha Grey. So he'll search for Sasha Grey on Tuesdays and masturbate to her porn, and he considers that a date. I mean, it gets to the point where they almost establish this weird relationship with the porn star, even though they're not talking with one another. He puts himself in the place of the actual man who's having sex with her, and he feels like he just took her from behind. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's where the story gets a little uncomfortable. First of all, there's just simply too much masturbation talk in this story. But second of all, when the guys get to the point where they think they're, quasi-dating Sasha Grey or whoever else, and the guy's like putting on cologne and stuff before he goes, there's a guy, she takes a shower, puts on his best shirt, puts on cologne.
But he does. Jake is 100% right. That's the architecture student, Ron. He says that he actually shaves for the event. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and when he comes in and he's like, oh, yeah, baby, I'm right here. No, dude, you're not right there. She's not there. That's a porn. Get out of cuckoo land. And besides, one of the things that's supposed to be great about porn is that you don't have to shower and put on cologne. Anyone can do it.
Boingo is the leading Wi-Fi network in the world, okay? They got 125,000 hotspots, and they're actually an aggregator. They put all that together, and so they're the largest network of Wi-Fi spots. It's convenient. You just pay $9.95 a month and you get all of that.
Right, and you get internet access wherever you are. It could be at the airport or you could be at a coffee shop. All of a sudden, all you need is Boingo.
And look, I stay at hotels and I go to airports all the time, and they charge $10, $12, $15 to sign up for one day. This is $9.95 for the whole month. And you can get on with a single click. There's no web pages to navigate. There's no sign up. Just one click. Boom, you're on. So go to sign up at boingo.com/TYT. It's awesome. Don't just go.
Boingo.